Hey everyone, what's up? It's LeRon here, back for another episode of Crossroads, the Games podcast. Yep, I almost screwed that up.
You want to do it over again?
How dare you?
No, I'm not going to do it over again. I mean, you know, just everyone knows the deal. Welcome to the Crossroads podcast, your place to get the latest news, events, and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. I already said my name. It's LeRon Dawkins, but also back up in here with me is the one, the only, Mr. Stoyovich. What's up, dude?
How's it going, man? You know, I went to the doctor today and I heard a buzzing, but the doctor said it's just a bug that's going around.
Andre Wilson, what's good, man? What's good?
Hey, man, I wanted to tell you about the clock I just ate today. It was very time-consuming.
I just want to let him continue because it's so smooth how he just integrates them.
I know. You know, and then it got stuck in the roof of my mouth, but then all of a sudden it's like, well, shouldn't the roof of your mouth be called the ceiling? You know? Like, right? Roof of mouth ceiling.
Man. Andre, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing
do not bring out a dad joke or the show's over.
Okay.
Come on. Fun hater.
I promise I won't bring any
guys, we have a show to get through. Come on. Why are you torturing me like this? How you guys doing this week? What's up?
I've had a busy weekend, that's for sure. Probably one of the busiest. Nah, that's a lie. I've had a busy weekend. Not the busiest, but I had one.
I'm gonna close the window of dad jokes. I'm officially done.
What'd you do? What'd you do this weekend, man?
So Saturday, I woke up. It was my buddy's bachelor party, so we just went to a beach. Okay, well, first we actually drove to a lake, and there was I guess a day pass thing that got implemented, and we didn't know. So then we just spent so I guess you have to go online in BC, buy the day pass in 2 days in advance to get a spot for this lake.
This is a lake.
Yeah. It's like a public lake, but you can't park there unless you have a day pass.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Very, very. So we were like, shit, well, now what do we do? So then we kind of hummed and hawed a bit, and then we found this other beachhead, which was half an hour away. So we drove there. It was good. We found a spot. We basically just put our camping chairs kind of in the shore and just had our feet dipped in the water and just chilled for 4 or 5 hours. Just basically just shot the shit, had some chips, just chilled just with a bunch of dudes. And then I left early, drove home that day, to meet up with my fiance. We got dressed, and then we went to a concert that night. We went and saw Machine Gun Kelly and Avril Lavigne that night.
Interesting combination.
Yeah, they're doing a whole tour together.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, oh yeah. So we went and saw her and him, and then we didn't get home that night till 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next day I was dead tired, but I told myself I wanted to go vlog on the Sunday. So I was out at this local park that has a beautiful man-made smaller-ish lake in it, and I was out vlogging, and I actually had a really cool experience. So I was out vlogging, and this guy approaches me, and he goes, "Hey man, you seem to kind of know what you're doing with the camera. Do you mind taking a picture of me on my phone?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I stopped vlogging the ducks that I was happily involved in, and I took a picture of him on his phone. So after I was done, we got to talking a bit, and he's like, "So do you do this for a living?" And I was like, "No, unfortunately I don't. I'd love to eventually migrate my life into photography and film, and if I can financially keep myself afloat with my family and do the full-time content creation, vlogging, photography, I would." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So long story short, we exchanged numbers, and now in a week or two, because he's in the midst of dieting and he just kind of wants to get into shape, he's like, in a week or two, could you actually take pictures of me for my online portfolio and I'll pay you. And I was like, first of all, I don't want any cash. I just want to do this just to get my name out there. And he's like, well, I'm taking some of your time, so I would love to pay you. And I was like, okay, cool. So we exchanged phone numbers, and in like a week or two, I guess like he's like my first client, I guess.
Watch your work wind up on OnlyFans.
I was just gonna say, this sounds pretty suspect, bro.
Well, he did say that, like, he did start talking about how Tinder is hard, so I assume it's for Tinder, but I'm like, hey man, like, once I take the pictures, it's all yours. So I got that, so that was cool. And then
Andre's gonna be like the photographer for this dude's boudoir photos.
Yeah. OnlyFans content creator right here. So he asked me if I had any. He asked me 3 questions that kind of stumped me. He's like, "What's your what do you charge? What's your do you have a portfolio? And do you have any business cards?" And I said no to all 3. So I went home that day, and I was like, maybe I should kind of work on all 3 of those. So I ordered this like online digital business card where if I tap your phone, like my YouTube, Twitter, yeah.
Okay, yeah. How much do those things cost? Because I think I want one.
The one I ordered was like 38 Canadian, so like $40, or like $41 Canadian. So I do the one called Tappy.
I don't even know. I got it a long time ago.
Okay, I ordered a Tappy one. It's called TAPPY. So basically, I tap it on your phone, and then all of my socials.
It's rectocard.com. That's what I have.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. This is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah,
it's an EXP card.
Same thing.
You just scan the QR code, and then
nice.
It connects us to all our socials and stuff. Because I use it all the time. Like, people are like, I'll be in the store, and like somebody will hear my voice, and they'll be like, "Hey, that's Stoy from Crossroads," and I'm like, "Yeah."
You get that
every fucking day.
Really? That's cool.
No, I don't get this. I don't get that.
I was just about to say, like, I look at my my analytics and stuff like that. It'd be nice though. Like,
no one from Milwaukee is listening to this episode.
I mean, shoot, if I'm looking at participants right now, there's 0 in there. I know.
Listen, y'all need to get on YouTube every Tuesday night.
Do it.
Say hi. Interact with us. Tell us your best dad jokes. Let's go.
Drop a comment.
The audio podcast do well. I don't know. I think maybe like we should switch to like pre-recorded and don't do live. But
live streaming is kind of hard unless you're really doing something unique. I mean,
yeah.
It just is what it is. So
which,
I mean,
there's a few things.
It's an added bonus for people that want to just like want something extra. But
yeah.
It's a live podcast can be kind of tough.
So I got the card. I figured out a rate, and then I actually worked on a portfolio website last night. So that's live. Links on my Twitter and Instagram if you want to check that out. So that was a really cool experience for me, and it kind of like made me think like this can actually be something in the future. So now I'm trying to like push a bit more and like show off my stuff more. So that was cool. And he even said, he's like, when I saw you vlogging, it was almost like you weren't meaning to, but you were showing off what you can do with the camera. And I'm like, I never really thought of it like that, but that's a cool way of thinking of it. So
he was trying to flatter you. That's what that was.
Probably. And it worked. So that was my weekend.
That guy was like, I'm gonna put the moves on this dude. I'm gonna show a little leg,
show a little leg. Ask him to take a picture of me.
Stroke that ego,
basically. And you know what? He stroked it and it worked. So
that's Story. How was your weekend, man?
I also went to a lake.
That's who I was kidding.
for a birthday party. I talked to some guy. Actually, there was a guy on the beach that was like, I swear he was like TikToking, because he was like, you ever see those really big, those big wide Nike shoes, those white Nike dad shoes? Like, bro was wearing these shoes.
Here we go again.
So you saw a TikToker in the wild?
Yeah, he was in the wild. He was going up and down the beach. he was going up and down the beach, kind of doing this thing. Like I think he had Bluetooth headphones in. He's probably listening to some music, like camera in front of his face, cell phone, whatever, and just kind of like going back and forth. Just he was vibing, and everyone's like kind of like, look at that guy, and I was like, leave him alone. He's vibing. He's having a good time. He doesn't care about what other people think, And he was doing it for quite a while. But a buddy of mine and I were in the lake, and we actually out-dadded someone. So the phrase out-dadding someone, which we just coined this weekend, is that a friend of mine and I were like kind of throwing the football back and forth in the lake, whatever. And then some kid came out and says, hey, can I throw the football? And my friend who played quarterback in high school and he played semi-pro for a little bit, like was teaching him how to throw. Kid never thrown a football before. So he was teaching him how to throw, teaching him all the mechanics and everything like that. And, he was teaching him how to catch. Awesome. Like this kid had no idea. Dad got all pissed. Get out of the water now.
The kid's dad?
The kid's dad got pissed. Get out of the water right now. And the kid's like, okay. And we both were like, oh, all right, I guess he's going. But yeah, my friend ended up saying like, the guy kind of like, you're not supposed to be talking to people like that and whatever. Like, dude was probably upset that some random guy at a lake taught him how to throw a football before he could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm
thinking. Now I get the whole term. Now I get it.
Yeah. So we out-dadded that dude. He's probably pissed. Whatever.
And hey, listen, if that guy somehow finds this, teach your son how to throw a football. Simple.
Yeah. I mean, how hard is it to maybe just like, you see your kid like kind of fucking playing Fortnite or some shit, and you're like, hey, let's go outside and kind of maybe kick the ball around, throw the football around or something like that. Remember when dads used to do that? I mean, mine never did because mine was never home. But, remember when dads used to do that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mine wasn't home a lot, but that's also because my dad was in the military.
Right. My dad, I went to my first soccer game at Lambeau Field, which is funny because I've never watched the Green Bay Packer game at home. And
really?
Yeah, I've never been to Lambeau because it's so hard to get tickets. Like it's like the entire stadium is all season ticket holders. It's crazy. But yeah, so 78,000 people packed the stadium for Bayern Munich versus Manchester City, and that was like full house. Like it was sold out. It's crazy. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, this is the first time I've ever like watched a game in this stadium. And sure enough, it's a soccer game. Only me. Yep. Only me.
Well,
it's the real football. The real football.
Football.
Well, I gave myself heat exhaustion on Saturday.
How do you give yourself heat exhaustion?
Well, I went. Well, I got. I got
just outside like,
bro. Explain that logic to me. Bro, explain that logic to me.
I mean, yeah, I cut the lawn this weekend. I got Saturday morning, and I got kind of a late start because my fault. Like I was like boyfriend and I went on a date. I stayed over at his place way too long, and by way too long, I mean I didn't get home till like 1 a.m. And then so I was like, you know what? I set an alarm for 7 o'clock to get up because I wanted to definitely beat the sun. I definitely wanted to beat the sun. The alarm went off.
Well, the sun beat you clearly.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
That's why the sun gave you heat exhaustion. The
alarm goes off, and I was like, I reset it. So the alarm goes off, and I reset it for like 8 o'clock because I was like, I'm just not getting up right now. I set for 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I wound up eventually getting out of bed like at 8:30 and stuff like that, and then just like kind of like staggered around the house for a little bit because I was still tired. Finally got started mowing the lawn at 10 o'clock, which that's not really a bad time. Like the sun's not really like out there like beating you down and stuff like that and things like that. But it's been raining on and off like the last like every other day it seems to rain out here. So I was like, number one, like I was trying to give the grass enough time to dry before I started cutting it because that was going to be a bitch in itself, and it was.
Go out there and blow in the grass.
Yeah. So I want to get the grass. I want to get the grass done. I got a lot. I got the entire front and back lawn done and everything right. And man, let me tell you, like that last 30 minutes of getting the last of it done and all that stuff. Like I was wore out. But then so get back in, take a shower and everything, like chill for a little bit. Because a birthday party was happening at my place over the weekend too. And somewhere right around time, because I volunteered to like prep one thing, like someone asked me to make this Rotel dip, And I was like, I can do that. So
what?
It's a rotel dip. It's basically a sausage dip with cream cheese, tomatoes, chili peppers, and is there anything else in there? No, those are the main. Yeah, those are the main ingredients. And then you just get like a bag of Tostito scoops, and that's how you eat them.
That sounds bomb as hell.
It is. Yeah. Everybody loved it.
That's America, man. That's why I love this country.
My dumbass
we just throw everything into a fucking bowl of cream cheese and just bring it to parties, and it's a hit no matter what it is. Yep. You can be throwing like black olives, crackers.
No, you can't do that. No,
like some fucking cheese or whatever. you know, and just throw in like whatever, man.
Yeah. So right when I start preparing this all this stuff, right. I started I still hadn't shaken off the sluggishness, like because I did take a small nap, like a 30-minute nap before I got started, and then not only was sluggish, definitely had a headache. That headache did not go away. Crazily enough, that headache did not go away until I started drinking.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, but yeah, I was wore the fuck out, and it was just one of those situations where I was like, okay, definitely the heat got to me and stuff like that because I got done the lawn by noon, so it wasn't like I was out there all day, but yeah, obviously I did not beat the sun.
The sun beat you.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
Well, I mean, nothing I can do. The sun's bigger than me, so.
I mean, you could take a squirt gun outside and just fucking.
No. That is the one thing I did when I was done and I sprayed down the lawnmower to get all the grass and shit out of it. I sat there and I looked at the damn hose in my hand and I just turned it up and just it just started spraying in the air, so just basically it was simulated rain. And I was like, oh my god, this feels so good. I can fucking die out here right now.
You spray it up, stand still, it hits you, you're just like, oh god.
I just
holy.
I actually saw it. This is actually a weird coincidence. I saw a meme yesterday on Twitter where it was some guy with a handgun pointing it at the sun, and the tagline is, "When you find out what the sun did to your boy Icarus." And unless you know Greek mythology,
that's the meme I was talking about. Where the one that I've seen it's the same premise, but I guess someone is near a volcano that is oozing lava, and he's like,
yeah.
Well, all that aside, hopefully, you guys had a better weekend than I did. I mean, I attended a party and whatnot, but Sunday I didn't. I didn't do a whole lot. I mean, boyfriend and I hooked up again. We wanted to get some. Oh, we went to this crepe place. There's this area it's called Port Warwick here in Newport News. And it's got a bunch of different shops, restaurants and things like that. Last time we were out there, there's this pizza place I like to go to called Brick House, and I usually go to this pizza joint for their cheeseburger. They have a bomb ass fucking cheeseburger.
Hold on, a pizza place sells a cheeseburger?
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you.
You guys have the weirdest pizza places ever.
Well, hey man, all we eat in this country are cheeseburgers. Every restaurant has to have a cheeseburger. You go to Mexican restaurants, they sell cheeseburgers.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Practically every Italian place I've gone to has a hamburger or a cheeseburger on their menu. What? Because the
Italian restaurants got cheeseburgers.
Because here's the thing about it though, what they do mostly is the same way they make their meatballs and stuff. That's usually how they make their ground beef patties for hamburgers and stuff like that.
Oh, that makes sense.
I honestly would go to an Italian place for a hamburger than an actual burger chain or joint, shit. You tell me about, hey, let's go to Red Robin. I was like, well, can we go to this place first? Red Robin's not bad, but I mean, if you want one of those gourmet burgers, yeah, like a black and blue burger or something like that, yeah, go to Red Robin, but if you want just a good regular hamburger or cheeseburger stuff like that, go to an Italian restaurant.
No, I actually found I followed this woman. She's this Dutch woman that travels the world on a motorcycle, and she's traveling to Alaska. She's going through South America and traveling to Alaska. She just crossed in the video series. She just crossed into America, and the first restaurant she goes to is a fucking Denny's. And she's like, I want to go to a local place. I was like, no.
Denny's is not local.
Denny's not local.
That's not how you do it.
What? Who told? Someone needs to teach this woman how. Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
But she was like riding around. She's like, yeah, there's a Burger King everywhere. There's a McDonald's and Jack in the Box, whatever that is. But I want to go somewhere local, a local restaurant, you know? And all of a sudden I see her pull up to a Denny's. I was like, no.
Like, did she not walk in there? Did she not walk in there and realize it was franchised? Did she not?
Oh man, I don't know if she did or not, you know, but
yeah, so the last time
she made fun of our portion sizes.
Do you
yeah, they're ginormous.
Yep.
Do you guys have the, I guess, like the juice Fruitopia where you guys are?
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Okay, it must be a Canadian thing then. It must be a Canadian thing. Because there was one time where I went to the States for a music festival. We stopped at like this local, like, little mom and pop diner type thing. And we're getting breakfast, and the waitress pops over. She said, hey, how are you guys? We're good, chit chat, blah, blah, blah. My two friends get a coffee. I'm like, oh, I'll just take some Fruitopia. And she's like, what's that? I'm like, what the I'm like, ma'am, it's Fruitopia. And she's like, no idea. I was like, what do you mean you have no idea what Fruitopia is?
I've never heard of it.
What? Okay, it has to be Canadian then. I thought it was like a universal thing. That's, I guess, my ignorance. But yeah, I was just like, ma'am, what do you mean you don't know what Fruitopia is? It's like fruit punch. It's fruit punch, basically.
He's talking about like a high C.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what? What do you mean Fruitopia? Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to just throw that in there.
It's great. It's great we stream with a foreign person, isn't it, Stoy? It's great.
Yeah, it is, because I'm surprised actually Andre hasn't made fun of us for not having milk in bags.
Yeah.
Milk in bags.
Yeah, don't you guys do milk in bags out by you, or are you West Coast?
I'm the West Coast.
Oh yeah, I suppose you go to Toronto and like East Coast, Mississauga, all that stuff. Like you know, not Vancouver, Montreal. Like milk in bags.
Milk in a bag?
Don't they realize
you're Canadian? I thought this was a Canadian thing.
Don't they realize that's how? Don't they realize that's how milk goes bad faster?
I know, but like, I mean, it's not like they give you like gallon jugs. Like, honestly, like
that's
they give
ew.
I know.
I googled it. Ew.
Can you imagine though? Like, days have been, summer's been hot. Like, so on these 90 some odd, degree days and stuff like that, you're gonna get like a thing of milk.
Yeah.
You can see it fermenting while you're sucking on it through the straw.
Yeah, it's curdling. But yeah, you basically like you basically like cut up, the kind of like it's like a rectangular bag. You cut a little the tip, the little corner off, and then you kind of put it in a plastic pitcher thing, and that's how you.
I wish I didn't.
And that's how you drink your milk in
Toronto. Whoever listen. To
Andre's
Canadian,
like, I'm Canadian, but I'm not that damn Canadian.
Yeah,
to anyone that is from Canada and drinks milk in a bag, stop. Please. That is weird. Like, milk in a carton is the line you draw.
Gotta call Justin Trudeau to be like, you gotta outlaw milk in a bag. You gotta do
listen, my guy.
Do this for us.
Please. Milk in a bag. What in the hell?
The Canadians need to be united on this.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So real quickly, and then we can start talking about like the stuff that we came here to talk about. So last time I was at the Brick House restaurant, like I just happened to look like
Is
right
this
across.
What we came here to talk about, so you could talk about the Brick House restaurant.
I had some fucking crepes and Belgian
burgers.
I had some fucking crepes and Belgian waffles over the weekend. Okay, all right,
bro. I eat crepes all the time. I love crepes.
Yeah, we discovered a crepe place the last time we were at that damn Italian restaurant eating cheeseburgers. We discovered it. It was right on the opposite corner of that, and I was like, "Hey, how long has that been open?"
My first crepe I ever had was this year, and I'm 29. I've never had a crepe ever until now.
I grew up on crepes.
I'm done.
Are they good?
I'm done talking to you guys. I'm done.
What?
You guys.
Why?
I thought we were all sharing in the joy of eating crepes. What's wrong with that?
Crepe day.
I'm done.
We're sharing your excitement.
I'm no longer
like this.
I'm no longer excited now.
What are you talking about? I thought we were all excited. Bro, you put like marmalade in the crepes? You know, I'm weird. I put cottage cheese in them.
Okay, now we're done talking.
I'm fucking weird.
That's not too weird. That's not too weird.
That's weird. Everybody I tell that to, they're like, "What?"
Well, what else is going? What else is going with the cottage cheese though? So like, you getting a drizzle of honey?
Nothing. Just cottage cheese. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, that is kind of weird.
What else do I need in there?
That is kind of weird. Okay, yeah. You're weird. You're weird, but you know what?
Pack some Nutella in it, man. Got yourself a meal.
See, I can't do Nutella. I can't do Nutella. I don't understand that.
What?
I don't understand the fascination with Nutella.
Dude, it's so good. It's so bad for you. It's so good.
Yeah.
What are you guys eating cheeseburgers at Italian restaurants? Not eating grapes with Nutella
and plus I have a mild intolerance of hazelnuts. So yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, like.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that's fair.
Mild intolerance.
When I say mild, like my tongue tingles whenever I have it. So I'm like, nope, I can't mess with this shit.
Okay, all right. Maybe that tingle is excitement.
That's not excitement.
You're living on the edge, and it's like, ooh.
As much junk food as I eat, trust me, I know when I'm getting a food excitement. I know this
excitement.
Yeah,
not quite an allergy, just an excitement.
Start getting all the sweats.
Well, according to my two friends who are pharmacists, they say it's an intolerance because, like, I don't need an EpiPen, I don't need to be rushed to the emergency room. Yeah. So there's that. I'm sorry, I don't like when food I eat gives me numb tongue. That's not right.
Numb tongue? Is that the actual like?
No, that's just that's just a way to describe it.
No, you said that like it was like a common phrase. So I thought I was out of it. I'm out of the game.
Yeah. No, numb tongue. All right, but
LeRon numb tongue Dawkins. Ooh, that's tongue twister.
I was about to say you can't even get it out right.
Numb tongue Dawkins.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Goodbye.
For everyone out there,
Exodus.
You can take that the real wrong way, but I'm just
yeah. Why do you think I've been trying to segue this to housekeeping?
No, let's keep talking about it some more.
No.
Okay.
But don't forget, you're checking out the Crossroads podcast, which comes to you every week, bringing the latest news, rumors, games, and general discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. Crossroads is live here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/exodus803
/numbtongue.
Airing Tuesday nights.
We're changing the name of the channel to Numb
at 8 p.m. As always, you can head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast locations to get the audio versions of the show, which are hosted the following Thursday morning when the live show debuts. After the live show debuts, I'm sorry. The video recap of this show can be found every Wednesday evening on my channel. And if you want to see previous episodes of the show, head over to our partner website, bossrush.net. And also, if you'd like the show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and giving us a follow on YouTube. Remember to share, rate, and subscribe. Deal. Turn on notifications. We'd love you if you did it.
Drop a comment, Timmy.
Whatever you. So, bro, you could have cervical instability. That could explain your numb tongue.
What is wait, this is a brain thing?
Well, yeah, you could have like nerve impairment coming out, which could maybe even cranial nerve, the hypoglossal cranial nerve. You could have.
But why is it? But why is it only when I eat certain? I'm about to step in it here, but why is it
anyway? So
why is it only when I eat certain nut products?
I don't know, but there is no channel that claims numb tongue, so it's yours.
I have a question for you, LeRon. When you're eating food and your tongue starts to numb, do you say "I'm numbing"?
No,
like what? Like what?
No,
what do you...
no. The only thing I say is the first thing I say is, "Hey, what's in?"
Was there hazelnut in this? Was there hazelnut in this? Did you put Nutella in this?
Actually, I have a small list: cashews, pistachios, or hazelnuts.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first thing I ask is hey, what's in it? By any chance, was there cashews or pistachios in it? And they say no. The next thing I say is this is kind of desserty. Was there any hazelnut in it?
Well, those three are the saltiest of nuts.
I am way too juvenile. I am way too juvenile for that comment.
The emphasis on the nuts, though. Those are the saltiest nuts.
I'm just saying, those nuts have a lot of like a high sodium content. So
oh my god, I feel like this episode should be nothing but outtakes.
Guys, we've had a lot of sun over the past couple of days, so we're all a bit loopy. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Guys, are we ready to talk about what games we've been playing?
Yeah.
I feel we're only 30 minutes into the show now. This is a good time to start talking about that, right?
I'm sure all the games we've been playing have been nuts, haven't they?
Well, I feel like we didn't play that many games. If Stoy's out teaching kids how to play footballs that aren't his kids, and Andre Andre's bouncing back and forth to different lakes and stuff and getting propositioned for OnlyFans, and I'm out here getting heat exhaustion from just doing rudimentary chores.
Yeah, be honest. Did anyone actually play any games this weekend, or did we all just do like outdoor dad stuff?
I mean, I kind of did both.
I dabbled a bit.
I did. I did too.
I played a game that I said I played a game that I didn't say I would be playing. That I found a rekindled love for. So,
all right. Well, do you want to go first then?
Sure. I started playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO RPG. I used to play it a shit ton. If you've seen the last couple episodes with me in it, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I played that game for a long time, on and off. And there've been a lot.
That's cool because I want to know more about this because I've always been curious if it's good or not.
So when it first came out, it was as all games are. It was a bit buggy, and then it kind of like went into the shadows as some games do. And then over time, there were still like lingering like diehard fans, me included. And in 2002, we got like a really fat update, and this week, and I booted it back up, and it got a graphic update, new content, new DLC. I personally enjoy it. There's four classes, so you have a warrior, a counselor, a soldier, and and one more class for light side and the dark side. And each story is unique in its own way, but almost similar at the same time. I mean, it's free to play. Personally, I say if you're interested, Stoy, check it out, and then that way you can have the final say. But I mean, I'm a little biased, but
okay,
I enjoyed it a lot. So I think it's on Steam.
Yeah, because it's a BioWare pretty much runs it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
BioWare runs it.
Yeah.
Wow, this game is like over 10 years old.
Yeah, it's old. It's old game for sure.
It's old.
It's old, but yeah, I booted up this weekend, and I was like, "Hey, this is kind of fun. Kind of fun."
That your only game you did this weekend?
Yeah, Chrono Cross here and there. Mainly Star Wars though.
Dude, you're still not done with that game.
No, I keep getting stuck on like every boss I encounter, and I'm just like so annoyed. I'm at the Stoy. You might know the. Do you recall the bosses at all?
Kind of, yeah.
I'm at the Water Dragon Isle, and I'm fighting all the dwarves, and I have to fight the High Ho tank.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, this thing's annoying. The bane of my existence right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. So I progress, get stuck on the boss, struggle for like a week, and then beat him, and then progress, get stuck, progress, get stuck, progress, get stuck. Like F. So, F. But it's also fun because I am trying different teams, going different ways, trying to like get better gear before I continue, get like the best gear before I continue. That way, just basically clean house wherever I go. But that game I'll play if I'm like bored at home. If I'm not watching F1, if I'm not watching Paw Patrol for like the 50th time.
Bro, I feel so bad for. Did you watch the race this weekend, or did you catch the race?
I didn't catch the race, but I saw the results.
Charles Leclerc, man, one of the unluckiest motherfuckers.
What happened? I heard
he crashed out again. He qualified first, and he was running it, and then all of a sudden he made a stupid mistake, crashed, wiped out, done. It's like the 6th time, I think.
Wait, so they retired the car?
Yeah, he couldn't continue.
Oh, dude, that's so shitty.
I would say that's probably like the 4th time this year where he was in first place, and he fucked up.
No way, that's so bad.
I feel so bad for him. He should be at the top of the table, but Max Verstappen's like,
I have to give credit where it's
which is what a Dutch guy sounds like when he laughs.
Verstappen is doing well, but in the show, I don't like him. I don't know why. I don't like him. I don't like his attitude.
Wait till you get to the later seasons.
Oh god, that's not good.
It's fine. It's like I think one of the more recent series. I think it was the recent series when the rivalry between him and Lewis Hamilton really hit. You know,
I'm at the part in season 2 where Lewis gets like the flu, and he's like, it's crazy that. Speaking of it, it's crazy how when you get a flu in F1, it's like do or die. It's crazy. Yeah. I didn't realize that, like, because Lewis got the flu and he's like, no, F that, I'm racing. And I was like,
and dude won.
Yeah, and he won. And I was like,
that man's amazing.
He was explaining to me, not to me. He's like, I'm sore, my head's sore, I'm like, my throat's sore, I can't, like, I have a headache. And I'm like, dude, just like stop. And he's like, but I'm going out there. And I'm like, homie, you're going like 300 miles per hour. Are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean?
Well, crazy. I think he did he tell the story about how when he was racing for McLaren, I think he was a really young driver, and I think it was like an approving event where he had to like try out, and he was like super sick that day. But he was like, "There's no way I'm missing this opportunity, because if I miss this opportunity, that could be it." So like he raced sick as hell and ended up actually doing well, obviously, to the point where now he is who he is now.
Yeah, no, he hasn't explained that, but that's super cool to hear that, like, he basically can drive through a flu at like 300 miles per hour.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So that's my whole thing. Sorry. Tangent.
Nah, that's all right. That's all right. Stoy, what you been playing this weekend?
So I ended up playing As Dusk Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And
you reached out to me. Was it Saturday? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think no, it wasn't Saturday. I think it was sometime during the week. But
was it?
I thought I rolled credits because I was like, oh wow, that's a short game. And then all of a
sudden,
that's right.
You tweeted. You sent me a message in chat saying, "Oh, I just rolled credits." And then I looked away from my phone and I came back and I was like, "Oh, never mind." And then I sent you like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
So the game is longer than you expected then?
Yeah,
because I haven't gotten too much further in it, and I'm going to talk about it in a moment too.
Yeah, I mean, and you and I could kind of share our thoughts on it, but obviously this game is very heavily inspired by all the Quantic Dream, David Cage style games, Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human. But it makes sense because the head of this studio was a narrative director for Quantic Dream, so it makes sense that so it's really cool because like at the end of every chapter you could see all the branching paths that you could have taken, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, you're going to end up almost at the same spot, but for the most part, you can have like different outcomes for like small little events, or even just like how people view you. Like, do people view you as like you're a bitch? Or or are you some like tough guy, or are you a guy that just likes to joke around when things get stressful, which is me. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the story. There's like so many good highs, and the art and the kind of like still art kind of, it's very detailed, very colorful. But yeah, it kind of does mess with you a little bit because
it kind of takes you out of it, right? You don't really feel like you don't. I feel like the only connection you have that you're playing a video game is the fact you have a controller in your hand, right?
Yeah, and it's one of those moments where like you could be watching a long cutscene of like two people talking, going back and forth, whatever, and then all of a sudden you have to do an action and you have to like mash the button repeatedly.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? The problem I have is that I have stuff running in the background, like when I'm doing work and when I'm just doing chores and stuff like that. And this game feels like it's white noise at some point. So, like I will be listening to the dialogue and don't realize I may have just missed a QTE, a quick time event,
you got to pay attention. Definitely.
Yeah. So it's like, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't want to review the game. I don't want to review the game because I feel like I would give it an unfair score. I really do. But also, I also figure out that like the reviews are in the eyes of the person that reviews the game, stuff like that. So like, I mean, I'll speak my truth right now on this podcast, Joe, and say that the game is good, but the game just doesn't do enough to grab you. Like, you have to be in the frame of mind to where you want to play this game, because in all seriousness, like, like there's not enough visual appeal. And when I say visual appeal, I mean the game looks good. I mean, like once you get used to artwork, the game looks good. But the visual appeal is like when you look at games like Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human and stuff like that. That stuff pops, and also everything moves. Like, like you see a lush, diverse environment, moving around you while you're doing this and controlling these characters. Whereas the game feels like a glorified choose your own adventure, which is crazy because like Heavy Rain, all those games, they're choose your own adventures, glorified games, right? And it's just, I don't know. Like I do like the game, but I want to love the game, if that makes sense.
You can't have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too, LeRon.
Well, I mean, shit. When Spider-Man comes out next month on PC, I'll love that game.
You didn't play it before?
I have the PS4 version. I never beat the PS4 version. I got right to the very end of the PS4 version. I thought we had this. I thought we had this discussion.
We did.
Yeah, I'm one of those
because
people.
when you had a PlayStation podcast and you haven't played half of the first party titles on the PS4, that was when I had I'm see what grabs me with this is the acting. The acting is very good because obviously you don't have the kind of visuals to kind of grab your attention. So that's where the voice actors were all really well done. They really act with a lot of good emotion, like everybody. Like there's no like one person that I'm like, that person's not doing it or that person's not doing it. So for me, I'm really drawn into that. And that's where it's like, okay, if you're not going to have these characters move and have like body language or whatever, at least have some good emotion. Mm-hmm. I obviously they got some like returning characters, like the guy from the detective from Heavy Rain. He's in this.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah, and
is the voice actor, right?
Yeah, and his likeliness.
Oh, good. Oh, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, and obviously, I think the voice actor that played Jackie from Cyberpunk, he's in it, and it kind of messes.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
It kind of messes with me. He's the sheriff.
Okay, I thought I did recognize that voice. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, I like I said, I'm really enthralled with the story, and especially like after I finished that kind of the first book, so to speak, and kind of where I'm going, it's really crazy. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, oh my God, there's like so much more to tell in this story. Like it's more than just like, obviously, not to spoil anything, but it's more than just everything that's happening in that hotel. So,
yeah.
Otherwise, I've been playing Hell Pie.
Oh yeah, that was one of the games that came out last week.
Yep. That game is fun. Now I have to ask, how dirty do you want me to get? How disgusting do you want me to get?
Go for it.
Okay. So, this game is obviously you're this little devil horned little guy working in hell, and Satan calls and says, "Hey, this guy is supposed to make a pie for my birthday. I want you to go talk to him and tell him where the fuck is my pie." So it's like, okay, all right. You walk down to the
wait. Was that an actual line?
Kind of.
Okay.
He uses more colorful language. But yeah, you walk down to the kitchen. The guy's like, "Oh shit, I forgot to make the pie. Now I'm putting the responsibility on you to get me all the ingredients for it." And I was like, "Why is this my problem? You're the one that's supposed to make the pie, and I'm just here delivering a message. Like, what the hell?" But anyway, you do it because it's a video game, and it's like, okay. So you go to like little hub worlds, and you hunt for these ingredients, and it's like all random ingredients. Like it could be like, you know, really dirty rotten eggs, tentacle arms, literal shit. So like,
Wow.
yeah, like actually one of the levels is
so this is the reasoning behind the name Hell Pie.
yeah, because
okay.
Satan needs a pie for his birthday, and you need to get all the ingredients. So this game is this game has that kind of platforming open world concept, kind of like Conker's Bad Fur Day. And it's very apparent when you go into one level where like you have to get this particular ingredient, but it's in the sewer system that is basically covered in like little shit soldiers. So it's like little pieces of poop with like, you know, kind of Nazi hats rushing you or trying to shoot guns. Like we're talking like, you know, whatever. Yeah. So it's like little pieces of shit running at you. And you know, it's like you're there's like lakes and rivers of shit all over the place. Like there's just poop everywhere. It's disgusting. But and then there's also a scene where you could like kind of get high and reenact the scene from Scarface. That's kind of cool.
Wait, which scene? The finale?
Well, basically, it's like some guy's like, "Hey, you know, I need your help. My mansion has been overrun by a bunch of lizards. I need you to go in there and like, you know, clear them out for me. Do you want to take a trip with me?" So it's like, okay. So obviously, you know, you take some drugs and you go on a trip, and it's like you go into this magical wonderland of like little islands in the sky. And he keeps telling you like, "Hey, grab this gun and start blasting bitches." So like, yeah, you march into his compound, you start blasting bitches left and right. It's crazy.
Oh my god!
Please tell me that was all that you played.
I mean, I could, like I said, I could talk more. Like I'm actually inside of a whale right now because there's literally like a sushi restaurant.
Why do these random ass platforming games always have you like inside the body of some like animal? What is up with that?
The difference with this one is that this one's a sushi restaurant. There's a sushi restaurant inside this whale, and it has, you know, there's dark things going on down there.
Huh? I don't even want to know. Yep. Okay. All right. What would you rate that game right now, based on where you're at? What would you rate that game?
Some of the platforming sections can be kind of frustrating, because you're kind of fighting with camera angle, you know, because like you're trying to kind of like leap over certain chasms. Like your weapon is like a little flying, like a little fat flying angel Cupid looking piece of shit. And he's attached to a chain, and you use him as a weapon. So like, you know, you could swing and hit people with him. Or you could use them as like a kind of like a mid-air grapple hook. So a lot of those platforming sections can get kind of frustrated, where like you're dying a lot, or could be just me. But yeah, I'd say it's fun. Actually, the humor is fun. The platforming sections are great. Most of them are, and there's so many diverse areas to explore and to just kind of like point and laugh at. I like it. I like it better than I thought I would.
And what is this called?
Hell Pie. Hell Pie.
I'm gonna look this up.
So the game starts great because like you see him sitting in the desk, like you got the camera angle behind him, and you see him kind of like, you know, moving his hand up and down, whatever. And then the camera pans around, and then you see all he's doing is like shaking up a drink. And it's like, oh, he was just shaking up a drink. But then all of a sudden he puts the drink down and reaches down into his pants. but yeah, he obviously gets interrupted.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's disgusting.
All right. Yeah, for real. All right. Anything else?
I mean, that's it. I mean, Power Wash Simulator. Love that.
Okay. All right. And like I said earlier, I've also been playing As Dusk Falls, and going back to what I said last week, like the game, like I still haven't been able to latch on to any of the characters or whatnot. But then again, like I didn't make that much progression since the last time I talked about the game. So, but
I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you.
Why do you feel sorry for me?
Characters are really good, really well written. Even my bitch of a wife.
Wait, what? Wait, what's wrong? Oh, shit must take a turn. Okay, I need to keep going. Okay,
yeah, but I forgave her like an idiot. But I think it's gonna pay off for me.
I'm intrigued.
Yep.
All right. All right, well, we can go ahead and move on then, and I guess it is time to start talking about the notable games coming out to PlayStation, PC, and Xbox this week. That being the week of the 25th of July to the 31st of July. By the way, real quickly, I just need to apologize to anyone that was actually looking for the article yesterday. That's usually when it goes up, but your boy had stuff going on in his life, so it couldn't get up until today. So sorry about that. But anyway, I don't know. Andre's been doing such a great job of running these down. Like, you want to keep with it, man, or what? You want to take a break?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. I just watched the trailer for that game. Stoy, what the fuck are you playing?
The Hellpie game?
What are you playing, dude?
I don't even.
My god.
See, bro, one of the final enemies is a large piece of shit with armor on it.
Who's Nugget, the little angel of falling?
Who made this game?
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it looks fun though. Like actually,
it is fun. But Nugget's annoying because he could be like, he'll just be talking in your ear. Like it's all text. There's no voice acting, but like he's talking in your ear all the time. It's like shut up.
I like how you have to like change your horn so like you can fly or like ram things.
Dude, one of the things is like you can like get different kinds of horns. Like you can get horns with like jets on them that you could like sprint real fast. And I'm not going to tell you how you collect these horns. I'm not.
I almost don't want to know.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Like it
God.
made me go, "Oh god."
Oh god, okay. I might have to download that and just give it a playthrough. All right. July 25th, we have only two. Wow. This is a small list.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of games that came out. They're coming out this week, but yeah, yesterday's release was just. By the way, just to preface this, like it's basically another strong week of PC gaming releases, and then inside another week just crammed full of releases. So,
bro, you're missing one of the biggest games to come out this week. I don't even know where you get your games.
I took your okay. Look. Okay, so just to preface this,
you know what? We'll get to it. Let's let Andre do his thing.
All right.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll fill it in when it comes.
Deal. July 25th, we have two games. The interactive narrative Chameleon DHY for the PC. Number 2, turn-based strategy Chaos Galaxy 2, also for the PC. July 26th, we also have two games. First one, Life Sim RPG, Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town for PS4 and Xbox One. I bet you they made the garden that matches the town. Number 2,
what?
The action Olive Town, Olive Garden.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, I got it. I knew what he was talking about.
That was a terrible joke.
I was like, really?
Yeah. Like the dad jokes haven't left him yet.
I reached for that one. Number 2, the action adventure Noelle, The Mortal Fate for the Xbox One. July 27th. Now we're getting into some big lists. 4 games. The first one, which sounds really interesting, a dinosaur survival MMO, Path of Titans. Kind of sounds interesting. PS5 and PS4, also on Xbox Series X and Xbox One. Holy shit, this is on everything.
Whoops, I forgot this. I forgot to put Xbox Family. Whoops.
Okay, it's all good. The JRPG, The Legends of Hero, Kurono Kisuke?
Yep.
For the PC, which sounds interesting. Number 3, first-person shooter, Hunt, Showdown, Serpent Moon for the PS4 and PC, also on the Xbox One. Number 4, if you ever want to be a firefighter, this is your chance. A Simulation, Fire Commander for the PC. July 28th, we got a big list here, ladies and gentlemen. First one, RPG Lost Epic for the PS5 and PS4, also on the PC. Number 2, we have an indie called Loot Light for PS5 and PS4, also on the PC and Xbox One. Number 3, my Sim people are going to love this. The platformer, The Sims 4, high school years. If you ever want to go back in high school and relive the glory days of getting shoved in lockers and going through puberty, you can now do it on the PS4 and the PS1, also on the Xbox family.
I did not think any more Sims games were coming out, and this one
neither.
This one just threw me.
Me neither.
Here we go. We got another game that Stoy is gonna be playing.
No, I'm gonna be playing something else actually.
Number 4, a simulator that Stoy is gonna hop on and cruise away on. Yacht Mechanic Simulator. This man is gonna go from power washing a house, flipping the house, taking the money, buying a yacht. That's exactly what he's gonna be doing. Number 5, we have the action RPG Yogi the Bear, basically. Bear and Breakfast for the PC. Number 6, and the final one, on July 28th, we have a platformer called Kumaju Remelia, the Scarlet Symphony for PC.
Good job. Right? You got it right.
Let's go. I'm getting better at these.
My man, you missed one game.
Oh, here it is.
20th.
What is it?
Lord Winklebottom Investigates.
Lord Winklebottom Investigates. What does he investigate?
Lord Winklebottom is a giraffe detective.
Oh,
and he's joined by his tea-drinking hippo companion, Dr. Frumple. And you will enjoy a journey full of intrigue and secrets that will keep mystery fans gripped. This is a game with plenty of heart, featuring a script and setting of bizarre characters and humor that wouldn't be out of place in a Monty Python sketch.
Okay, is that on July 20th?
July 28th on PC, Switch, Xbox. Yep. PlayStation fans, unfortunately, you're not getting it.
You heard it here, folks. If you ever want to relive your Toys R Us dream of being a giraffe, now's your chance.
What if you thought? What if Jeff the giraffe retired and became an investigator? And
holy shit, we figured it out.
Yep.
Toys R Us shut down so he could find out mysteries. Mm-hmm. There it is. Thanks for coming to the podcast. We'll see you next game. July 29th. The first game I am considering, the action RPG Digimon Survive, PS4 and PC, also on Xbox One and the Switch. It's not on here, but I know it's on the Switch. Number 2, strategy simulator Rim World for the PS4 and Xbox One. I just want to make a quick note for my Digimon fans. Do you guys know the dire consequence in this game?
Mm-mm.
It has permadeath.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. So if anyone doesn't know what that is, if you've ever played Fire Emblem, you should know what it is.
Yeah.
If you have a love character,
they die in battle.
You have Agumon in your hand, and you are like, Agumon is my life. I will use him in a battle, and he dies. Agumon is gone forever. That is what it means. If you have a Digimon that you love, and he dies, he is dead forever. So my advice, don't play the game because you'll get heartbroken.
Instead, go play Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 that's coming out on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox family, right?
Or be a giraffe.
Be a giraffe, yeah. Actually, it's coming out on the Switch this week, which is like basically the spiritual successor to the Mega Man games, or at least the Mega Man X games, made by the infamous Kenji Inafune, the genius that brought us Mighty Number 9.
Hey yo, there you go.
As much as I love Inafune, I don't think he was a genius for that one.
No, he definitely wasn't. He was just like, sorry, this is what you get. And he dipped.
That's fair.
Wait, what? Why did Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 come out 2 weeks later on the Switch and it came out on everything else?
Nintendo paying them big bucks, man.
Yeah, Nintendo's out here like, let's tweak a color so it really sounds out.
Yeah. And we got to pay the extra money to get Inafune.
Yeah, exactly. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is your gaming list from the 25th to the 29th. You can check it out on the website, I think. I don't know.
Wait a second.
Right?
Wait
LeRon?
I'm sorry. What? I got caught up in the whole Azure Striker Gunvolt 3, like in Keiji Inafune. Like what I missed?
I said this is
not a lot of people like Kenji Inafune.
They don't like. Oh boy! All right, Andre, keep going.
I mean, we can have a whole podcast on why a lot of people don't like him.
It's because of Mighty Number 9. It really is.
No, it's because he launched 2 Kickstarter games for future games before Mighty Number 9 even came out. They kept
I didn't know about
delaying
this.
the game. Yeah,
I did not know about this. Okay,
they were like announcing
Mighty Number 9 is like one of the best games ever made, though. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, if you're like in Opposite Land.
I mean, he's way better
everything
than like,
is
Mega
opposite.
Man. He's way better than Mega Man.
Yeah, in Opposite Land.
No, just in general.
In Opposite Land, Mega Man 2 apparently is better than Mega Man 3. Right,
all right. All right. As always, a complete list of upcoming games for all the systems that we talk about here on this show can be found on our website, bossrush.net.
That's what I said. Taking the spotlight from me. I actually asked you. Sorry, I didn't know if this list was on the website, and I said it, and then so
it is.
This list and more is on the
with
website.
the exception of Lord Winkle. What was the game?
Lord
Winklebottom.
Winklebottom.
I love how you started that and then went, wait, what is it again?
Lord, I had to make sure I wasn't going to mispronounce it because like it's not on that list on bossrush.net either. But as always, all release dates are subject to change, so please do not get mad at us if a certain game on your list does not come out on the day it's listed here, because we don't control when these games come out. We just talk about when they're supposed to be out.
If a game comes out and we don't know, I've said it again. Sorry, I'll say it again, and I will continue saying it. Drop a comment and tell us. All right, Timmy, I'm looking at you, you little freckled faced redhead. I'm looking at you. Okay. Drop a comment. Tell us what game you're interested in. All right.
And Harold, definitely tell us what you think of Lord Winklebottom Investigates.
If you play that game, tell us and tell us how it is, please.
I think I'm gonna play the game.
If you're not Stoy, then tell us.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so I think we should talk about this breaking news that happened earlier today, because I did not play. I saw it, but it was before
we cannot talk about it because I'm still not over it.
We're gonna talk about it.
I don't want to. I'll cry.
Are we going to talk about it?
Stream.
We're gonna talk about it.
I'll cry. Go ahead. I'll cry.
I mean, we don't want to. What?
I gotta find like there's like a special sound effect.
Oh.
Late breaking news brought to you by Crossroads. The only place for late breaking for the most breaking news on the planet.
On the internet.
On the internet.
All right, so this
smash that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Hit the bell notification.
Hit the bell for notifications.
All right, so this went down
right as Raid Shadow Legends.
You know, it's
promo code Crossroads Andre Wilson for 20% off.
20% off. Your first hero will be free.
Your first hero bundle package, gold treasure chest. Fuck.
What? Why isn't this beer?
Why isn't that whiskey? You mean?
All right, so this news is broke after I'd already had everything planned for tonight's show and everything. So forgive me because there's no official Reddit for this, not on the Boss Rush website. But
I literally saw this 5 minutes before this went live. Actually, like I saw this, like it happened now.
Yeah. Okay, so Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic for PS5. That remake is reportedly delayed indefinitely.
Bullshit.
Okay,
so mad about it.
So I'm getting this information right now. Like, I actually saw the tweet earlier from he who shall not be named, but I'll go ahead and put it out there because some people don't know that I don't like this guy, Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Actually, I saw a tweet from him earlier, and I put a pin in it because I was like, you know what, I'll come back to it. But yeah, Polygon.com has definitely had Polygon.com right now has an article up on it. It is unclear if the project will move forward. Basically, what's going on, and this is the PS5 remake, which would eventually have gone out to the other consoles. I believe that was the plan. It was going to be a limited release for a limited exclusive, a timed exclusive. There we go. So PlayStation 5 project has been delayed indefinitely, according to the report from Bloomberg. The news comes after the studio reportedly fired 2 directors, and another studio had to be brought in to help work on the project.
Well, this was already announced, I think a month ago, where Saber Interactive came in to help work with them. I think it was 2 months ago that they announced that. Saber Interactive was
wait, I thought that was for the old KOTOR 2.
No, this one.
I really want it.
Oh, it's for this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was kind of the first sign where it was uh-oh.
Yeah. That's crazy too, because didn't this that game was it started a state of play for Sony, didn't it? It was the first thing we saw in one of the state of plays recently.
Sorry, I was just talking to my fiance. Sorry.
No, sorry. According to Bloomberg, design director Brad Prince and art director Jason Miner were both fired from Aspyr after the studio showed the gameplay preview of Knights of the Old Republic remake to Lucasfilm and Sony. Aspyr studio head then told the staff that the project was on pause and that the gameplay wasn't where they wanted it to be. Bloomberg reported that the remake may not arrive until 2025. Aspyr has not communicated an official release window for its remake of KOTOR and has now officially announced a delay.
So basically, I heard 2 people got fired. They basically full sent the little preview of Revan igniting his saber and that whole teaser. They basically full sent it there and then just turn around and they're like, "Fuck, we don't have enough for the whole game." That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that's it, because what you just said was basically the trailer, which was this.
Yeah, I was under the impression they put all of their money basically into the trailer, and then the gameplay wasn't where they
that must
wanted.
Not have been a lot of money then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
so I'm glad we're talking about this.
No, because what you're talking about, that's basically that whole KOTOR thing wasn't even a minute long, was it?
No, I think it was 30 seconds.
That reveal. They just it wasn't all I know is it set the Star Wars fans set them on fire, though, I'll tell you that. And I never played the original KOTOR, so I was looking forward to this.
I don't know if it. I mean, again, I'm biased. I don't know if it aged well. I mean, I still enjoy it, but
this is a remake. They're gonna build this game from the ground up. So I don't know what was going on. I'm hoping it's not something as catastrophic as what's happening with all the Ubisoft shit, because Ubisoft canceled 5 projects last week.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. 2 of them they never announced before, but I mean, Aspyr really. I mean, Aspyr's been a developer that. They've put out stuff, and they've been around for a long time, and they've worked on Star Wars games before.
Yeah.
I think they worked on the remake of Jedi Academy. Mm-hmm. They worked on the remakes of Republic Commando, the Knights of the Old Republic port. So they worked on a lot of those ports. But for something like this to be this big, I mean...
Yeah. It feels like they weren't ready to handle an actual... I guess what it was their reputation for doing ports seemed to be pretty good. So, it was looked at that they could probably handle a project of this proportion,
All they've done, I'm looking at their list of games, and all they've done has been ports.
Uh-huh.
They're just like a porting studio, which that's fine. There's a market for that.
It means they know their way around programming code. That's for sure.
Mostly they're porting things to Mac.
The trailer.
Well, there's a job right there. Then
the trailer is 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
They haven't really made anything meaningful. We're talking this is a full on AAA game for us. So I'm really shocked. Lucasfilm would pick them.
I know.
Out of the hundreds of like top-notch stellar studios out there
but
that can do this game justice.
But then again, Lucasfilm,
these guys.
I've never really been able to trust Lucasfilms as far as like what they would do. Like, I'm not the biggest Star Wars
I don't
fan.
trust Disney, period.
You just said you don't trust Lucasfilm, man. I know Lucasfilm is part of Disney, but I've never been able to trust. I feel like for every one good Star Wars game that's been out there, there's like 4 shit ones. And that's just my personal
Star Wars movie. There's
that's
shit ones.
And that's just my opinion, because like for every one Star Wars game that I want to play, like the other ones I look at, like, nah, I don't want to play that. That doesn't look like it. That looks like it's gonna be fun, stuff like that. You know.
Name me a good Star Wars game that's come on the last couple of years.
Besides Fallen
Jedi
Order?
Fallen Order, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, besides Fallen Order, yeah.
Exactly. All I know, okay, these are my thoughts.
Because before Fallen Order was the 2 Force Unleashed games.
Which are goated. I don't care what you say. Don't at me. You can cancel me. They are goated as shit. So fucking F off. My whole take on this is it's really shitty that this happened, because I know that a lot of people were looking forward to it, especially the Star Wars community. All I know is that in 2025, this game better come back bigger, better than ever.
Well, it says indefinitely, so
I know
it might be off. It might be off the table unless Disney steps in and says we're going to shop around.
And they should. I mean, if by all accounts, like Aspire is giving them a shit product to basically say you guys are completely off track, the quality is shit, everything about this is shit, we're going to take this somewhere else.
This is starting to remind me of what was the one game? B22. What was it?
Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars project that
1313.
Was that it? 1313?
Yeah, it's where you were a bounty hunter and you were gonna go down. It was on Coruscant, but you were gonna go down to floor 1313 of Coruscant, and like I think like work your way back up. Like,
that would have been such a good game.
I know, and there was gameplay for it, and it was very like the gameplay was very Uncharted-esque. But like,
that's right. Amy Hennig was
no, she wasn't attached to that one. She was attached to something different.
Wait, was she attached? Was she attached? Was she okay? So she came on right after it was announced that it was canceled.
No, she was part of a different Star Wars project.
Because this
of course got canceled as well. That got canceled.
This is also because also part of Visceral Games team, like the Dead Space team, was on that project too, right?
I forget.
Yeah,
but I know obviously she went on to go work for Forspoken, so she's doing that. So.
Let's talk about another game that keeps getting delayed.
I mean, it was no coincidence that when God of War was announced, that pretty much like 10 minutes after that was announced, like Forspoken's like, yeah, we're gonna dip into spring.
Yeah. So I mean, I have no words. I really don't have no words on this one. I was one of the people who was also waiting for the game. Like, it was going to be my chance to actually play and experience KOTOR, even though it's going to be a remake. But because I caught so much hell from people for not playing like the original KOTOR, and now it's at a point where it's like I look at replays of that game and I'm like, I'm not playing that game.
No, I don't think you could play it. Honest to God, I don't. That's not saying anything about you. It's just like I said. Like, I don't think it's aged well. So
just give it to Saber Interactive. Just give it to Saber Interactive. Saber Interactive is working on Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Let CD Projekt Red have it.
No, Saber Interactive. They're already attached to this project. They're a big enough studio, so might as well just say, all right, you guys take the lead and have Aspire be the support, because clearly they fucked it up.
I don't want this game to die, and I seriously hope someone picks it up, because if this game was to kind of just like become one with the Force and just kind of drift into nothingness, it'd be thank you. It'd be really disappointing to see this game go.
I think the only way
for sure.
I think the only way this game will actually get fall away in obscurity is if the mouse turns around and says it's not happening. Like, until we get an official word that Disney has said like this game is not coming, like, well, it's coming, it's just not coming out anytime soon, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Unless for some reason he turns around and.
But then again, it didn't have definite release date to begin with, right? It didn't.
Yeah, next year, I think. Hang on.
That was too early, in my opinion.
Yeah, no way.
I'll check the trailer again, but I swear.
No, there was no announced time for. If I remember the trailer correctly, there was nothing about when it was coming because it was way too early.
Wow, Saber Interactive's a big development studio. They have like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
What else
5 other studios. Jesus.
Okay, all right. So it might be in good hands if Saber takes the reins of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have they're completely out of all their studios. It's got like 1,300 people.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do it.
Oh man, yeah,
they can do it. Let's go Saber Interactive.
Yeah, but Saber Interactive is working on
one of the classics, Time Shift.
But Saber Interactive is apparently working on the new Knights of the Old Republic project, which that's KOTOR 3, right?
No, I told you they got put on this game to be a support studio to Aspire. Remember I said that?
You did say that, but I'm reading what this says in Polygon. If I'm reading, unless I'm reading it incorrectly, it says okay, Aspire was bought out last year by Embracer Group, a holding company with significant investments in several other studios, including Saber Interactive, which is now aiding development of the new Knights of the Old Republic. Okay,
aiding development.
Okay. All right, there we go. My bad. Polygon has reached out to representatives for Aspire and Lucasfilm Games for comment, and will update when this is posted, when they respond. But there you have it. Like, I hate to say it, and we had to break it out first because we had forgotten about it before the end of the show. But right now, looks like the KOTOR remake, it's not anywhere on the radar right now.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Definitely.
That was the one game that I'm like, I would freaking tell my kids to go play outside and leave me alone. That was going to be the one game I was going to do for me.
Dad is going to go ugly cry in the corner, kids.
Yeah, I'm busy. Leave me alone.
Andre was going to tell them to go outside and not come back in until the streetlights came on.
Just lock the doors. I was going to wear my freaking Star Wars outfit. I was going to go all in.
Oh, God, he's such a nerd.
I am. I would have turned on both my lightsabers and put them beside me and played the game.
Any final thoughts on this?
Daddy's going to fall asleep with his blaster.
Any final thoughts on this, or are we moving on?
Super unfortunate to see a very beloved game kind of like be halted / paused / canceled / not. I'm looking forward to someone picking it up. It's also super sad to see people like you, LeRon, who haven't played it, who were like, oh shit, now I can try this game. Now I'd be like, well, now I can't. Yeah,
when I saw the announcement, I was like, this is my chance, because like, no, this is one of the few games that I get ridiculed that I never played, you know. And you know, it's one of those things, you know, it's like, and and I can't remember why I didn't play Knights of the Old Republic. Well, Knights of the Old Republic originally released on what? The original Xbox?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I didn't have an original Xbox, and when it came to the PC, I did not have a powerful enough PC at that point, you know, because that was apparently it was a game that pushed specs on certain people's PCs. It wasn't pushing specs like Crysis did when it first dropped, you know.
Man, remember those days?
Yeah, but it pushed specs. You know, like the potato ass computer I had back then wasn't doing it. And then of course now, you know, I got this like crazy ass rig, and of course it's like you can't sully your eyeballs looking at that game in this day and age now.
This game really runs at 30 frames a second.
It's like running old PS1 games on 85-inch 4K televisions.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. All right. We'll go ahead and move on.
Just give it to Saber. Give it to them.
Yeah, that would be a thing. That would definitely be a thing.
The company is called Saber. They have lightsabers. Like it flows. Okay, it flows.
It's destiny.
It really is. It was meant to be.
All right. So next up, we're gonna talk about The Last of Us PC release. The Last of Us Part 1 remake that's coming out real soon here. So we've got a September 2nd release date coming for the PlayStation 5 version of this game. And PC gamers are sitting here and wondering now, like, when is The Last of Us Part 1 coming to PC? The question is definitely...
Wait. Sorry. It's not on the PC yet?
It's not on the PlayStation yet.
So when the PS5 version comes out, is it also going to be coming out for the PC?
It was announced. It was announced for PS5 and PC. Unfortunately,
okay.
The unfortunate thing is, like, they announced it. They announced it for a September 2nd, 2022 release date, and then they said the PC game would be coming following that release. This is typically what Sony's doing right now. Like, it's kind of like in line with what they're doing with their PS4 ports coming to PC. Like, the game has been out for X amount of time, and then the game shows up. Where was I? Okay, so the senior environment texture artist over at Naughty Dog, Jonathan Bananus. Bananus. That's how you pronounce it. Responded to a tweet responded to a tweet from an excited gamer about the upcoming PC release, and in his response, he suggested that the release wouldn't come that much longer after the PS5 version is released. Now, this is where words can get you into trouble. I'm just gonna say it like that. and
why not just drop both of them at the same time?
No, that would ruin Sony's day one thing. It would because it would definitely split the market. It would split the market too much because, like, I've said this before, most console gamers, they usually have one console and a PC, and the PC may or may not run games, but usually console gamers have the console and the PC, unless you're an Xbox fan, and then you have a PC that, like, basically, like, you're just doing regular work and not playing Microsoft games on it. But and then also most console gamers, like, you have your main console and your secondary console. Like, for example, I have a PS5 and a Switch. So things like that. So Sony releasing their AAA titles, like, at the same time on multi-platform, that would be disastrous for them. I can feel it because, number one, like, not only are they going to worry about, like, it splitting the cost of it cutting into the cost of the actual the development for the mainstream console. Like, we also got to look at piracy and all that stuff. And so most people,
and modding the game and ruining it.
Modding the game. I don't care what you say. Modding the game does not hurt the game. As a matter of fact, a lot of times mods
to the developers, it would actually. I don't know. Whatever. I guess that's my opinion.
I feel like practically every mod. Like, I don't run that many exploit mods when I do play games. And when I say that many, I maybe, like, run one exploit mod. But most of the other mods I do improves quality of life or fixes something. Like, modders are fixing KOTOR 2. The recent release of KOTOR 2, not the old one, the recent release of KOTOR 2. Modders are fixing that game, stuff like that. Shit, there must be a reason why Aspire is, like, kicked to the curb. But yeah, The Last of Us Remake has had a rather mixed reception following its announcement, and following a series of leaks that happened last week, which put Sony, Naughty Dog, and the remake itself into some really rough waters. The devs were quick to respond by describing these leaks as both disheartening and frustrating, as well as hurtful. In a quote, The Last of Us Part 1 on PS5 will feature a host of gameplay and presentation enhancements that will bring the game closer to its original vision. That was from Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann. A 10-minute deep dive video showing off the first official gameplay of the upcoming remake can be seen over at PlayStation Blog right now as part of Naughty Dog's response. The game itself, which is priced at $69.99 US dollars, that is, when it launches.
So $80
Canadian.
Just so everyone's clear. Just so if you're like, what does that mean for us Canadians? Basically, $80 for us.
You know what? Now that you're on this show, like, I definitely want to see an uptick in, like, Canadian listeners. Get on that,
Go
bro.
out on the rooftops, Andre.
Canadians!
All right. With that price tag, though, there are those out there that are believing that this actual remake is actually a cash grab attempt from Sony to monopolize the momentum of the series overall, which Sony has fought that suggestion pretty hard, by letting gamers know this remake offers a total overhaul of the original experience, faithfully reproduced but incorporating modernized gameplay, improved controls, and expanded accessibility options. The overall timeline, going back to the original reason why we're talking about the overall timeline about when the PC release is coming out for The Last of Us Part 1 is pretty vague. But it would be great to see the PC release of the remake hitting before the end of the year. What's up, Andre? You got your hand up.
You literally just answered the question before you said it. I was gonna say, is it the remake version coming to PC? And then you just said it. Oh, okay, okay, cool.
Yeah. All this is about The Last of Us Part 1 remake. As a matter of fact, the remake is called The Last of Us Part 1.
Interesting.
Yeah. Versus just calling it The Last of Us. So I'm almost wondering, like, is there something in the works for Last of Us Part 2? I think it just might get a straight release to PC, you know. All right. Now, speaking about all this, though, it should be noted that that gamers are still waiting for the PC version of another Naughty Dog game, that being The Last of Us. I'm sorry, The Last of Us. The Uncharted
Legacy of Thieves collection.
The Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which currently has had its release date pushed from 2020, just pushed to just 2022, like it was supposed to be out. The PlayStation 5 release of this game hit this past January, and initially the game was set to come out on June the 20th of this year. But when you go look it up, like all you see is 2022 on its dates now and stuff like that. So, yeah. And just pay attention to this particular topic, because when we get to our big topic tonight, like it's going to be brought up again. But yeah, there you have it. Let us know if you're planning on playing The Last of Us Part 1 on PC, and also we want to hear: are you convinced that this remake is just a cash grab? Like, we'd love to know, like, this stuff. You know, hit us up at PS_Crossroads, or
it absolutely is a cash grab.
Yeah, Stoy's convinced it's a cash grab. I don't believe it is.
I honestly, there's no reason to remake this game. I mean, this game has already been kind of like upscaled for PlayStation 4. Why wasn't that good enough?
Here's my take. I personally think if you haven't played it by now, what's wrong with you, first of all? Secondly, play the remake. Play this version over everything. For people who have played it, I see why it'd be a cash grab, and I kind of think so, because like Stoy, like you just said, how many times has this game been remade? Like, what?
This is
PS3,
PS4,
PS5?
No. Okay, so let's.
Oh, we know. This is a full-on remake. Like, it's not. Just a remaster.
This is like. Well, this is not what Capcom did for Resident Evil 2, but at the same time, this is a different look and feel for the game.
Cool. Like, whatever. Me personally, I mean, I think, LeRon, you said it kind of in the background that it could be Sony telling them to say, hey, we need some more first-party PlayStation 5 titles because we got none. So can you remake Last of Us? You know?
The speed of this thing, like I'm starting to like understand why what's that guy's name? Jeff Ross, the guy from the guy from Sony Bend. I'm starting to understand why he was a little butthurt about this, because like everyone kind of like passed off the idea that The Last of Us, like that was a thing, and here it is. Like the speed at which it was coming, though. I just need to know, like, were they already planning on making this game for PS5, or did it just like come up out the blue, Because I feel like the speed of how this game came up, like the PS5 is not even 2 years old yet. It doesn't turn 2 until November, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a game that's a remake. And if I'm not mistaken, because I haven't done that much research on who was handling the remake, if I'm not mistaken, this is Naughty Dog in-house that did this remake. If I'm not mistaken, which means that number one, Naughty Dog is not working on a new project. All they were doing was working on a remake project. And typically, if you have a game that's coming out for a brand new system, that means it was in development at the same time the console itself was in development. That sounds about right, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think they've been working on it that long?
This game, development cycles for games, I feel like like games, you don't just push out a game in like 6 months. You don't.
No. But like I said, you said it yourself. The game's been out the PlayStation 5's been out for 2 years. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of started like maybe right after the game was released.
Yeah, right after the system was released. Yeah. what type of crunch were they dealing with then? Because we had COVID. COVID basically ground everything to a fucking halt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not like they're redesigning the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not doing a Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not one to assume their development style and
I don't.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to speak on speculation, but I can't imagine that they've been working on this longer than 2 years. I can't imagine. Although I could be wrong. If Neil Druckmann calls me up right now and says, "Yo, dog, like we've been working on this game since 2019," then I'd be like, "All right, cool. Thanks for that information."
All right, my bad, dog.
My bad. My bad, naughty dog.
I'm gonna go back and read the whole thing that Jeff Ross was talking about with Sony Bend and stuff like that. Like, and
how they barely marketed and pushed Days Gone. Like that. I mean, I'd be butthurt too. A game that they were working on for like 5-6 years.
No. He's the one that leaked. He was the one that basically like blew the doors off and said that the Last of Us remake was happening. And that's because he was. Yeah, he said that after he left Sony. Like he was the one that blew the doors on that.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. So I gotta just look it up and see like what the timeline is on that, because like the whole Jeff Grubb thing that happened 6 months after PS3 release, PS5 release, PS3 release. That happened like 6 months after, like he leaves Sony Bend winds up like becoming like a an assist studio for like a port, and there we go. All right, so I think we talked about that enough. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so if you guys don't notice, like our the news tonight, like it's a slow week. It's a slow week, so forgive us if it seems like we're just
if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I feel like we talked with that for too long. Jeez.
If you haven't noticed, for the people that are watching, the first basically half hour of the show was us just basically bullshitting. Yeah, this is kind of a low key week for news.
Yeah, because the one of the more exciting things that happened in the world of Xbox is it appears that a faster boot up sequence is coming to the system. That's coming soon, apparently. So Xbox gamers are very familiar with that startup animation for their consoles when they run them from a cold start. Basically, the whole boot up sequence and stuff. The animation, which is around 9 seconds, will soon be dropping down to a mere 4 seconds. This is all coming about to help reduce the overall startup time. And guess what? I can hear you guys out there. Who the hell cares? I can hear that. I don't even have to be like tuned into you in your living rooms, your cars, in your headsets and whatnot. I know you're saying who the hell cares, but guess what? This is a quality of life change that basically makes a difference, to a good majority of people.
Bro, it's 5 seconds. It's pretty damn noticeable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. This is basically waking your system up out of sleep, except it was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's on, right?
Yep.
Like I had that when I had my PS5 and I built my first PC. The first time I turned on my PC from like a dead, like I basically like brought my PC to life. Homie, I pushed the button, took a step back, and that thing was on in like 3 seconds, and I was like, holy shit, that was fast. Like I understand how people can say who cares, but when you see it like happen, you're like, whoa, that's cool.
Wow.
I feel like in a day and age where people are impatient about like the smallest of shit, like this makes a difference,
Easily. This will easily be like a huge thing. Because you could basically like turn it on, turn around, sit down on the couch, and it's already on.
It's ready to go. It's ready to go.
It's on the main screen.
All right, so this new update has begun rolling out to individuals who are participating in the Xbox Insider program. It's basically like a beta program for the systems. With the exception of Nintendo, every system has it. You can get into a beta program. Every system has it. Even if you're on like Windows PCs and iOS machines, you can get into a beta program. So that's how it goes. And the users out there that are already on the Insider program are confirming the actual changes. Jake Rosenberg from the Xbox team has already backed the confirmation that this update will also be coming out to Xbox One consoles. So guess what? The Xbox family is getting this update to where boot times are going to get shorter from cold start. It is great seeing Microsoft working on something to hasten the startup of Xbox consoles. Now there is no date yet when the public rollout for this happens. So there's no date for when an actual firmware update's coming out to everybody's systems to get this done. It all has to like get through like the insider program and stuff like that. And as long as there's no instabilities and things like that with the system, and no system insecurities where like people are hacking your house because your Xbox had a flaw, it should be coming out real soon. So real quick, I don't have an Xbox. Stoy, you have an Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay, Series X?
Yep.
Okay. Andre, you?
No, sir.
No Xbox at all? Okay, not even Xbox One? Okay. All right. So let me ask you, Stoy, are you excited about getting the new streamlined startup animation for your system?
I mean, I think it's going to be cool. Like, I'm already impressed with how fast it starts up, and I keep mine in rest mode. So it starts up like super quick for me anyway.
Yeah. I typically keep my systems in rest mode myself, actually. Every now and then I can tell when there's been like a power outage because my PlayStation will scream at me when I turn it on, like saying, "Oh, but you did not turn it off correctly." It's like, bitch.
Yeah, it just happened to me a couple days ago.
I had you sleeping. Like, you did not turn yourself off correctly.
Yeah.
Don't blame me because you're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. So to everybody out there who's listening, just let us know if you're excited about this new startup boot up sequence. And also if you're an Xbox insider or you're part of that program, we'd love to hear from you. Like
drop a comment.
Yeah, let us know about it. Like it's always interesting to hear about some of these new updates and these changes that are coming out because like insiders are always telling us like the really cool stuff about when the UI is changing and all that stuff, and then people have to wait 6 months to get it. So definitely let us know. Like I don't have an Xbox, so I'm not in the insider program, unfortunately.
For anyone that doesn't drop a comment, I will throw a plastic straw on the road.
No, it's bad for the environment.
Yeah, don't do that.
I swear I'll do it. I will tweet it too. I'll do it.
All right.
Me being Canadian, I do it, then like immediately pick it back up and say sorry to like anything. All
right, so we're on to our final news topic for tonight, and it's some more PlayStation news. And we're going to talk about that good old game called Gran Turismo. Because guess what, guys? We've got some new cars coming to GT7, which that should be dropping sometime this week.
Yeah, I just saw them, and they look interesting. I'm not going to lie.
Yep. In a teaser tweet by Gran Turismo producer Kazunori Yamauchi, gamers learned the exciting news that the next free update for Gran Turismo 7 will be adding 3 new vehicles to the game. The tweet also featured an image showing the silhouettes of the 3 cars. So the information is actually out there in the stream chat. Oh, by the way, all these articles they can be, with the exception of the KOTOR article, all these articles can be found over at bossrush.net. So definitely check that out if you want to get a better look at it, because we know everybody's not always like here live with us in the stream chat to see the stuff that when it goes in the chat. All right. Anyway, the enthusiasts over the Gran Turismo news site GT Planet may have already identified the 3 cars based off of the image. The one apparently on the right side of the image is apparently the 1982 or 1983 Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette. While the car in the top center appears to be the Maserati A6 GCS Spider. I'm glad to look at that. The third car, GT Plan is less certain about. That's the one on the left, but they speculate that it could be the Porsche 918 Spider. All right, so just in case you're living under a rock, Gran Turismo 7 is out now for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 consoles. And let us know, are you still playing Gran Turismo 7? How excited you are for the additional cars coming to the lineup for GT7, and what cars do you think, if you don't agree with GT Planet, what cars do you think are in Yamauchi's picture? Stoy, you still playing GT7?
I haven't played it in the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
I was going to say I last fired it up. That's oddly enough, that's my relaxing game.
Yeah, you've been flipping. Well, wait, how are you relaxing when you're flipping houses and?
Well, ever since House Flipper came out, obviously that Gran Turismo is not my relaxing game anymore.
And power washing. Oh,
yeah.
Well, if the three cars they said are true, like which one are you interested in?
Well, I'm a
I think
Porsche guy.
I think
I'm
for
a
me it's a
Porsche guy.
Skyline.
Yeah, sure.
I like import. Oh, Porsche is an import, but you know what I mean. I like Japanese imports.
No,
I
yeah,
don't.
and like I said, I'm a European. You know, obviously
Yeah.
the 918 Spider, they called it, I think, the Carrera GT in America.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because this was my that was
Oh.
my go-to for the old like the old Gran Turismo games, like when it was out for like I think the PS3. Like that car is fast. So I'm excited that they still think that. I mean, this is kind of like a legacy car at this point because I don't think they make it new anymore. But yeah, so
I'll say this, like I'm not a big car head, so like usually I'll jump into Gran Turismo, like, and you know, like the classic cars that like I recognize, like remember the GTO, the Ford GTO.
yeah.
I always did my best to unlock that game, unlock that car in the game whenever I got a new Gran Turismo game, stuff like that. There was the Toyota car. It looked like it was an F1 car. I forget that one, but you know, I think the first in the first game, like it was either orange or yellow. Like that was once I discovered that car, I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I gotta unlock this every time. But I'm not the biggest car person, you know. Like just so like you can't just like throw me a name of a car and I'll recognize it. But you put me down in front of the game and be like, this is the car. I'll be like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how it works like that sometimes. Okay, so we didn't have any questions from the audience tonight. You know, probably because I didn't put anything out for it. You know, sorry about that, guys. But to get the scoop on all of tonight's topics, links have been provided in our stream chat. You can also go check out everything that we talked about over at bossrush.net, and you can always keep the conversation with us going by hitting us up on Twitter at ps_crossroads. If you have a question, definitely hit us up at our Twitter account, or email us at crossroadspspod@gmail.com. And we are going to go ahead and get into our big topic tonight. Guys, I said I was going to kind of surprise y'all with this topic, and here it goes. So last night and earlier today, like I had a conversation with my roommate, and basically he told me, and you know what, I'm not gonna front and act like I don't suffer from this problem, but I have entitlement syndrome, you know, when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. So our topic tonight is what makes you an entitled gamer, and I don't care what anybody says. Like you have entitlements when it comes to your video gaming hobby. Whether you're one of those people that think your game has to, you think that every game has to be at a certain level for you to want to play it or whatnot, or whether or not you think like a game should not be at whatever price point it is. Like I'm looking at you, Last of Us Part 1, you know, or you know, you're one of those people that get woefully impatient about games that are always getting delayed. Like, you know, like I feel bad for thoughts and prayers go out to the KOTOR people right now. You know,
I just checked Twitter and it is hot over on Twitter.
I bet.
It is like
I bet.
It is like the number one thing on Twitter right now for like trending. It's KOTOR.
Yeah. You know what? I don't fuck with you Star Wars nerds. You know, I stay in my own little Star Trek bubble, and you know, I call it a little bubble, but Star Trek is big as fuck. But you know, I don't fuck with you Star Wars nerds.
Listen, I will grab both my lightsabers and ignite them on fucking stream right now. I'll do it. Like both of them.
All right. So anyway, so basically the way this whole thing starts out, right? You know, my roommate and I were having a conversation, and he had just gotten through playing what game was? Well, he beat Stray today, but that wasn't what got this conversation going. I can't remember. But anyway, I wound up talking because it was something having to do with The Last of Us, the remake and stuff like that. And I made the comment that, you know, I was like, it kind of bothers me that The Last of Us, this is before like I even got into this article about The Last of Us, you know, today. It kind of bothers me that, you know, like Sony has put out The Last of Us remake, and then we got the news about the PC version that will be coming out soon after the PS5 version of The Last of Us, and I was like, you know, it's kind of baffling that, you know, like they're gonna rush to get this out when they haven't put the games out that they've already announced coming to PC, like the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection and stuff like that. You know, Sony had us convinced, you know, when they announced that game, that that after its PS5 release in January, like the PC version will be coming out in like the next quarter, stuff like that. So it's one of the things, but also like I've gotten people have seen me on the different podcast shows. Like I've been on Nintendo Pal Block, or you see me on the Boss Rush podcast. You see how foamy mouth I get every time we talk about Advance Wars on the Switch.
Still waiting.
Still waiting, yeah. Like it's one of those things. And some of it's Nintendo's fault, and some is not Nintendo's fault. Because Nintendo put
it's
out
Nintendo's fault. It's Nintendo's fault.
Nintendo initially pushed out a release date of December something. I think it was December 18th of last year.
It was unnecessary to delay that game. It was unnecessary to delay that game, and we all know it was kind of like a marketing ploy to make themselves look righteous in the front of a war that's going on that the game has no relation to. The game is not related to that at all.
It's all fantasy stuff, and yeah, there is a nation in there. I believe it's called Blue Star, which basically, for all intents and purposes, is Russia. But stuff like
that's the thing. But that's the thing. You can't. I mean, it's just like a coincidental it's a form of fiction. It's a form of fiction.
Yeah. But so that's but the thing about it is the game was initially, because the war in Ukraine didn't even the war in Ukraine started when? April last April. No, that seems too
February.
Too soon. Yeah, okay. So Nintendo puts an initial release date out of December 18th of last year, right? And then right around late November, they're like, oh, we're going to have to delay the game. The game will be coming out in February of 2022, right? So I discovered this game has gotten a stealth delay, because when February is coming up, I go on the Nintendo eShop to go ahead and do my pre-order for the game, because you got to pre-order. When you pre-order digital, you got to pay the full thing up front. It's not like walking to a GameStop. But so yeah, I was like, well, thank God I didn't do December, because the game got delayed, and that's probably something I could have spent $60 on later, because I'm one of those people. So I go on the store right as February is getting close, and then I go to the actual store page for Advance Wars, and now it's been pushed back to May. And I'm like, wait, I didn't see an announcement that it was getting delayed, right? So now I'm getting upset, because now I feel like the game that was initially announced, is getting. Story. We've had these conversations before. Don't put dates out on your games if you don't have any intention of getting them out at that time.
That's why wait for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I will, and that's where my entitlement comes in, because to kind of go back to the topic at hand is that, I don't think video games deserve a release date until it's pretty much ready.
It's ready. As a matter of fact, this is what I will say. You can talk about your game, but don't give us a date until your game is gone gold.
Yeah.
That's the best time to give us a release date. If the game is gone gold,
there's no delay. There's no harm in even just saying hey, we're still working on it. No harm in that.
Yeah,
no harm in that. And if people can't wait, that's their fucking problem.
Which I'm totally exactly. I'm totally reasonable about that. If you come up and say hey, this game, we need more polish or whatnot, I'm usually a good guy. But when it comes to that stuff, because I always have this mantra is don't release a shit game, just because you're trying to make a date. If the game is bad, if you think I'm pissed because your game is getting delayed, wait till how pissed I am when the game comes out and it's unplayable.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically
what's your topic?
How are you? Right? What makes you an entitled gamer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
What makes you an entitled gamer? Yeah, so basically that's where I was going with that, So when I made the comment that was I pray they don't release The Last of Us on PC before they've gotten the Uncharted game out, because the Uncharted game came out in January. So and they were building this game on PS5 and PC at the same time. So I was like, what's going on? I understand this is a port, but So we basically got into this conversation, and basically I was told that you're being entitled about this, and I'm like, am I being entitled, or am I getting my expectations crushed based on what's been told to me?
Here's what I think that person means, and because you expect something,
mm-hmm.
when you are like how I define entitlement is that you are expecting someone to deliver what you want instead of just like getting what you get. Basically, it's like that whole like you don't get what you want, you get what you get kind of thing. So what if we get The Last of Us before Uncharted or vice versa? I mean, so what?
Yeah,
and that's where I don't have like I almost like don't have entitlement because I'm like I kind of take things as like, well, if it comes out great, if it doesn't, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, generally that's the way
are they
I
going to
am.
announce? Are they going to announce a release date like a year in advance, or are they going to announce it like maybe 2-3 months before the game actually comes out? I don't care.
And the crazy part is about this whole Uncharted thing. My logic is like I wanted it on the PC because I could have already had it on PlayStation, and technically right now I can get it for $20 on the PlayStation Store because I have both games, the disc versions, and all I gotta do is just put my disc in the PS5 and then spend the $10 and get the PS5 update.
You are passionate about this topic. Maybe we should talk about that.
What?
Uncharted should come out before Last of Us on the PC. Sony needs to put more PC games out. What's Andre think? Andre, what's your entitlement?
Huh?
Sorry. Somebody just got his attention.
My point on entitlement or this topic?
Entitlement.
What's the thing that makes you an entitled gamer? Are you one of those people?
Honestly, a good question.
Well, here's some examples, right? Like I already mentioned the example of when someone feels like. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess So for me, I guess something that I am entitled about is I'm trying to think of the game that kind of started it. It'd probably be RE4, how they had over the shoulder camera, and now horror games like Dead Space 2, 3, all the RE games 2, 3, the remakes are now over the shoulder horror games. I feel like moving forward, if you don't have an over the shoulder horror game, it's not really that fun because that's just how I've been playing it for so long now.
Oh my god! Did you just call me out? Because I have a problem playing Resident Evil 7 and 8 because they're first person.
Dude, it's so weird.
I almost didn't. That you think Resident Evil needs to be only one thing.
Oh no!
I almost
wait. Maybe that's his entitlement because my entitlement is I can't fuck with first person shooters. Like I've never been good at them.
Okay.
I almost didn't play 7 because I'm like I don't like this. I'm like this isn't how I've been playing it. So another thing that I guess I'm entitled about, and I hate that you have this conversation because now I feel like a shitty person because now I'm like I'm entitled to everything.
Well, you know what? That's kind of what it is, though. I kind of want to. I don't even know if it's a personal flaw, but it's one of those things that we have to look at because, sometimes the way we feel entitled about stuff puts people out of jobs.
Yeah, true.
Puts people in the gaming industry out of jobs, and I'm not even talking about when they pass off a bad game to us. Because like another thing, like how many times have you heard someone say this game would have been great, but it was 20 hours too long?
Oh God, the amount of times that
what's another one? Why is this
another one I have is every Pokemon game forever has been you encounter a trainer or Pokemon and it's a turn-based like battle, and then when Arceus came out, you could just freely run around and like battle that way. If you guys played Pokemon Arceus?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
I can't tell you the last time I played a Pokemon. The last Pokemon game I played they were still on the original Game Boy.
Okay, so in this game mode, the battles are different. So like if I run into a Pokemon and that Pokemon is over there, and I throw my Pokeball, I can still run around the battlefield and like call out command. It's not like how it was turn based before. How like you would see your Pokemon here and the opponent Pokemon like there. It tried something new, and I personally didn't like it, and I was like, oh, this should be the other way. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, holy shit, that was the entitlement coming out.
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. I feel like some people don't. I feel like some people don't want games to evolve because trust me, like, who wants to continue playing Resident Evil with tank controls?
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? Like, oh shit, Stoy, really?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, there's still games being made with tank controls. Like, actually,
Yeah.
Tormented, Lost Souls, I think, or something like that. That's what it's called. Tormented Souls. That was made with tank controls.
Wait,
so,
wasn't it a game you talked about a few weeks ago that you were playing? That was it, right? Was it the one where you're? Crap. See, I can't.
What was it? I know. I'm trying to think back.
It's been a while. It was before Andre got into the show, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that was because that was kind of like tank controls.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Song of Horror.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because like I looked that game up and I'm like, oh, I need to play this game. Like it looked really cool, really fun.
Yeah.
Another entitlement that people like tend to fall into this trap of. It's like everything was great about this game except the controls. And and it's not even that the control scheme itself is bad. It's just that some people aren't used to like the control scheme of this particular game. Some people are like, well, this game plays like Call of Duty, so why aren't the buttons just like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, this is a really great question because
I have a good one, and I feel like everybody that's affiliated with Boss Rush has this problem.
I feel like this question makes you step back as a gamer and be like, wow, I can be shitty sometimes.
Do some self-reflection, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Easily, for sure.
How many times has a game been announced and someone's like, well, why isn't it on my system? Why isn't it on my system? Why isn't this game on the on the Xbox Series? Why isn't this game on the Switch? Why isn't this game on PlayStation?
Corey, I'm looking at you.
Corey does not really have that problem. Corey,
I know. I'm just kidding, Corey. I love you.
Corey doesn't have that problem. But I mean, I feel like he does fall in that line, though. He's got his ways about it. Everybody has a way about them that makes them an entitled gamer. Some people.
I feel like in some way, shape, or form, everyone is kind of entitled.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is though, because we spend the money on these games, we're entitled to be entitled. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
It's one of those things. It's but also at the same time, you're also entitled to be disappointed though, because you're the person that spends your money. It's not like these companies come around and say, oh, we're taking your $60, $70. They don't do that. They turn around and say, we have this game out here. Would you like to pay $60 or $70 to play it? And we're like, yeah, I'll pay that. And then, we spend our money, we get what we get, and we're like, I didn't like this game. And, then we have all a litany of complaints and stuff, or why, or heaven forbid, we're the ones talking about, well, if I built this game, this is how it would be.
Yeah. Perfect example in this podcast, Star Wars. I was entitled. You guys said that would come out. Why isn't it? I want the game. That's a perfect example.
That's an extreme one. That's honestly an extreme one because okay, you're upset because the game's not coming out, but there are other people out there look at what happened with Cyberpunk. When Cyberpunk got delayed, people started sending them death threats. The game wasn't out, and guess what?
I am not going to send anyone. Just to make anything clear, I will not threaten no one.
I wasn't saying you would, but there's people out there that take it to that level because it's like,
oh, I know, and it's crazy.
And then I had to laugh at every single one of those bastards, right? Because CD Projekt Red put the game out, and guess what? The game came out, and it was not an unplayable state, depending on where you played it at. If you played it on old ass PS4 base and Xbox, what was it? Xbox One S.
Yeah, you were not playing it.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I had to upgrade my PC to play it decently.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, can we think of any more things that people have come out their face and all of a sudden sound entitled?
You guys are gonna make me talk about my video games aren't art article.
This game would be great if it wasn't for that one character. There you go.
Yeah, because that's a good one. Or let's see, I actually do want Stoy to talk about. I don't think we ever we're gonna use that. We're gonna run with that. Video games aren't art. That'll probably be our big topic next week. I don't think none of the podcast shows ever talked about it. It'd be good, to have it.
No, you know why? Because I was being attacked by everybody. I was being attacked with the exception of you. You were the only one that actually came to my defense. But
Yeah,
I was being attacked by everybody about my opinion, and I was like, well, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to come onto a podcast and be berated with questions.
That's another entitlement that gamers do.
That was what I was going to allude to with that article. Is that if someone has, I mean this. You could translate this to anything in the world out there. If someone has a contrasting opinion about something, all of a sudden that you don't agree with, that maybe you don't fully fully agree with,
that's
all of a sudden it's like, no, that's wrong.
That's our big topic next week. Video games are not art. So go ahead and dust it off there, buddy. Because because for because this entitlement I'm getting ready to talk about kind of goes hand in hand with the video games aren't art thing. I played the Mass Effect trilogy when it first, I experienced Mass Effect trilogy when it came out as a 3-game bundle. So when I played through and beat it, I didn't have a problem with the ending.
I didn't have a problem with the ending either.
I didn't have a problem with the ending, but guess what? Like, the entire Mass Effect community lost their fucking minds when that ending came out,
Yeah.
And guess what? Oh, and by the way, because I did the research, right? Apparently you can get the best ending, out there if the war actions are at a certain point. Guess what? Because the Mass Effect trilogy came out and the games and a lot of the games weren't actually on the PlayStation at the time that it came out. You couldn't get all the damn war assets.
I didn't have a problem with war assets the first time around.
Another good entitlement that I can think of is I am shameless. I have this. The ending of The Last of Us Part 1 where Joel kills everyone at the hospital to save her, and then at the end of the game she's like, tell me the truth, don't lie to me. Did you kill people?
Did we make it
to save me? Did we make it?
Yeah, because she didn't even know they got there, because the last thing that happened to her was she fell in the water and
got knocked out,
and they
saved her.
Yeah.
So she didn't know anything happened.
She didn't even know they had made it.
So Joel tunes everyone out in this hospital to save her. She wakes up and he lies right to her face. And at the end of the game, she goes, tell me the truth. And he tells her the lie, and the game ends. And I remember the game ended, and I'm like, this game's shit. I'm like, this is stupid.
What?
And then I'm like,
I thought the ending was beautiful.
It was. But at first I'm like, he's a liar. What a POS. And then I'm like, well, if I take a step back and I think about it, I can see his point. But that was something that I can see people would be like, wow, Joel is so mean. I deserve a better ending.
This guy is really passionate about The Last of Us, because remember his freaking college thesis he gave us last week about Ellie? About Ellie? Yeah, remember talking
about that. That's what I was going to say. The whole Team Abby versus Team Ellie dynamic.
Exactly.
From Last of Us 2.
Yeah, and I would talk about that, but LeRon, you haven't played the second one, so I can't. So the entitlement really goes into number 2. And Stoy, you know what I'm talking about.
Going back to the whole the Last of Us Part 1 story. Remember how I mentioned that the leaks came out for this game and everything like that?
Yeah.
The reason why I never jumped in The Last of Us Part 2 is because even though I did not see a single leak of The Last of Us Part 2, enough of the online community fucked the game up for me. And it wasn't even that I learned shit about the game. It was like they fucked it up for me to the point where I was like, I bought the game and I just never put it in my system and turned it on.
Do you have it?
I have it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, my boyfriend should be playing it right now, because he just beat The Last of Us Part 1. And I was like, here you go. Here's The Last of Us Part 2. And he was like, oh, how is this?
You gotta play it. Come on.
And he's like, oh,
dude, I think you can watch your boyfriend play, but I think you need to experience it.
Oh, no. I can't watch him play, because I tried to watch him play The Last of Us Part 1 and it was frustrating.
There's another piece of entitlement, trying to watch people play games that you know how to play.
Oh my god, I am so bad for that.
Why did I feel like you were waiting for me to walk into another one, Stoy. Thanks.
You did that, man. You did that, and I just kind of took that.
I am so guilty of this. It hurts. I am. When I watch my friends play games and they're not doing it like me, I cringe. I'm like, just please, just let me
How about the people? How about the people who get pissed off when another shooter comes out, another sports game comes out, another music game comes out, another Mario game comes out? How about those people? I mean, like, yeah, technically a new Mario game comes out every 45 minutes, but that's neither here nor there.
True that. True that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I feel like we could keep going on, but we should probably end the show, right?
That is a great question, though. Great question.
That was good because like I did get offensive for a second though, because I'm like, dude, like I run a freaking video games podcast. Like,
well, and that's kind of goes back to where my video games are art thing. Why I wanted to talk about that briefly instead of making it a whole topic for next week's episode. But we don't
have to make it a topic.
It's how people. Like, video games are a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Video games are a hobby. Like, they're not a lifestyle. They're only a lifestyle if obviously you make your money, you make a living on video games, whether you're making them or you're a content creator of some sort. But to be personally offended about the things you like about video games, that's where the entitlement comes in to say, like, it's almost like you're claiming ownership of that, and that's become your baby. Where it's not. Yeah. If LeRon, you came to me and you told me Ghost of Tsushima is a shit game, I'd have been like, I don't agree with you, but okay.
I feel like Stoy would have took a trip to Virginia just to twist my neck.
I mean, I probably would have. I probably would have walked away for a second, come back and been like, okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong, and I'm gonna, whatever. But like, life goes on. Life goes on.
Stoy would have went and pulled his Hattori Hanzo off the wall and just didn't come to Virginia to find me.
Yeah, I'd have been like, LeRon, go check your front door right now. It should be there in 2 minutes.
Open the door. Shing!
By the way, if you're checking us out in the stream chat right now, like I just put the link to Stoy's article. Video games. No, video games are not art.
You guys want some serious entitlement? Look at the Destiny 2 community. There have been people that have actually sent death threats and like threatened to shoot up the studio in Seattle.
Oh my god.
Over the game. Like,
oh my god.
You want to talk about entitlement? The Destiny community is really, ask Corey and Josh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude,
it's like that personal
so
investment.
Bad sometimes.
The personal investment that gets you angry over the stupidest shit. It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's a video game. Leave
it
alone.
When they make tweaks to like PvP and PvE, you go on like Twitter and like day of, and homie, you get like you're a fucking piece of shit company. Like, it is bad.
That's another.
I'm like, guys, like, I don't say it, but I'm like, yo, this is not how we should be acting as a community for a game that we play. We complain and then we play it, and it's like, I don't understand where this is coming from. But like there are females there that like will like put out a tweet and a twab, and that's basically like the week of Destiny, and people are like, you are like, I can't say the names on podcasts, but like there are some really bad names, and people have to go on like leave like for like mental health, and I'm like, holy shit! Like,
yeah, that's some bullshit.
Entitlement, and then there's like entitlement.
That's some bullshit right there. Like when you a consumer does something that basically causes the people and developers and stuff to like actually leave their jobs.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad ones.
Like the two leads for Mass Effect, they left what, in the middle of development for Mass Effect 3?
No, right after, because of all the shit that the ending got.
Yeah. Like they're like, hey, like we have PhDs in like science and shit. We don't have to make video games, and they were out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like perfect example, the Game of Thrones ending. Everyone fucking hated that. And then they were like, oh, this show's done. And the guy who made it is like, fine then, you make it. And they're like, oh well, I'm okay. You, it was okay. And he's like, yeah, exactly.
I have one more entitlement, and then if you guys are ready, we can break out the show. Those people who, no matter what, it's never good enough. Like,
are you including yourself, or I mean, are you just talking about entitlement of others?
I don't think I'm.
That's entitlement in and of itself.
I don't think I'm one of those people that like it's never enough. Like, because I mean, like, Because, for example, right? You know what? Maybe I am because you know what? Like I never got back to playing Mass Effect Andromeda behind the patch cycle, and it wasn't that. And honestly, the game I never experienced a game. Well, I experienced one game breaking bug for me, and guess what? Like I saved so frequently that you know, like it wasn't even that big of a chore for me just to re-roll my save, you know, and stuff like that. But you know, like where I did get a little impatient though was just like, man, I'm just gonna wait for the entire patch process to finish. And by the time I waited for the patch process to finish, like I had already lost interest in the game. I didn't come back, you know. But the people who nothing is ever good enough. Those are the people that you know, like like you actually take your time. You go put a support ticket in and say, hey, this game is doing this. They come around, they patch it, they fix it, and you know you have another complaint. And then you have another complaint, and they keep patching and fixing all your complaints, and it's still not good enough. I'm not with Andromeda. I wasn't that person. I was just patient. I was patient but impatient to wait for their patches because I never complained about shit. Like even when you know, like homegirls, like my eyes are tired right now. Like I thought that was funny, you know. But yeah, like there was something definitely wrong with her character model, but it wasn't enough to take me out the game and stuff like that, you know. Or when Sarah Ryder, you know, the female writer, remember when she wakes up at the cryopod. And it's supposed to be like this long like stretch she does, but it looks like she's got that grinning laugh, like the Joker laugh.
Yeah,
like that didn't bother me at all and stuff like that. It was just the fact that every time I had to turn on my game, I wanted to just start playing the game. There was always a new patch waiting. And I was like, oh, I'm tired of this. You know, that was my thing. You know. We ready to go, guys?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so. As we close this segment out, hit us up at PS_Crossroads. PS_Crossroads. And let us know, everybody. If you think you are a patron saint of gaming, I have news for you. That's complete and utter bullshit. There's something about gaming that turns you into an entitled gamer. I don't care if it's like one grain of sand. Like that's how big it is. You know, there's something out there that makes everybody entitled gamer. Some people are just a little more extra about it than everybody else. But yeah, there's something about gaming that makes you entitled. We want to hear from you. Here's a PS_Crossroads. What do you feel makes you an entitled gamer? We're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. So, that's our show for tonight. As always, we'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning into the Crossroads Video Games Podcast. We don't have any guests tonight, so I don't have to thank them for coming here. But before we head out, here's how you can connect with the crew and stay connected. Stoy, you go first tonight.
I'm on the EXP Cast. We're a video game podcast, part of the Boss Rush Network. We put out episodes every Monday and Thursday. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at EXPcast. Then also you can follow me on my personal Twitter at StoyMKE8.
All right, cool. Andre,
I want to give a shout out to someone who just actually started following me. I'm kind of wondering who this guy is. A guy named Dove Gray. He is apparently works in the video games and the adult industry.
Oh, interesting.
He was formerly of Hot Girl Video 69. That was his old Twitter tag. So I saw this and I was like, all right.
Did you follow him back?
No. LeRon, he follows you.
He follows me? Wait,
yeah.
Who's this guy?
Hold on.
His name is Dove Gray.
We don't want to give his handle out, and so hold on. Let me see if I can just do a quick look. Okay. While I'm looking, Andre, plug yourself.
You can find me at YouTube at Andre Wilson. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, same name on both at ANNDRE_WILSON. You can find me posting pictures of photography on the Instagram, Twitter. I'm just trying to be all around. You can find me on Twitter. Tweeting. I don't know what people do on the Twitter.
We twat.
Yeah, you can find me twatting on the Twitter. There it is. And on YouTube is where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to make YouTube the home. So I got I'm working on my second vlog. My first vlog is up. YouTube Shorts. Also, I just posted a link on my Instagram and Twitter for my portfolio website for my photography. So if you want to go check that out, that'd be awesome. And then you can DM me your honest opinions, and I mean that honest opinions. I'd like to get the good and the bad. That way I can improve on it. Also, on my shorts and my vlogs, if you have a a opinion, drop a comment, let me know. I'm hoping to get better slowly. So if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe and bell notification. And also for this podcast too, Timmy, drop a like, drop a comment, hit the bell notification.
I feel bad for Timmy.
I know.
He's got a lot on his plate.
He really does. One day I'm going to say it and someone's going to comment and be like, I'm Timmy. And I'm going to be like, look, man, I'm sorry.
I'm Timmy and you keep yelling at me.
Yeah. I'm going to get an email from an angry mom being like, why do you keep calling out my son? But yeah, that's all from the boys at the road here. As we cross roads, we're going to go our separate ways.
All right. Well, real fast, you can catch me on social media at XS803. That's also my Twitch and YouTube handles, as well as my gamer tag for PlayStation Network and Steam. Before we roll out,
after today, he's going by Numb Tongue. Numb Tongue.
Yes,
no, that's what it is.
Numb Tongue Dawkins.
No, I'm not. You know what? That might be the name for my alt, though.
The numbest tongue.
There it is.
All right. Before we head out, check out some stuff that's going on over at bossrush.net right now, including an article from our friend Ouch that wants to know, what do you think about dad games in the July 26th edition of Boss Rush Banner? By the way, if you don't know what a dad game is, that's a game like House Flipper, Power Wash Simulator,
Yacht Mechanic
Simulator. What do you think about those games?
Tell me if you think that title is sexist, because you know what? Women can power wash too. Women can flip houses too. I mean, come on.
I was about to say something that it would be very insensitive, so I'm not going to say anything because I don't want my podcast canceled. Our good friend Stephanie Klimov gives us the rundown on Stray smashing records on Steam. In her article, Annapurna's Stray is the cat's meow. Check that out.
Name.
Yeah, I kind of gave that to her. Check that out. And lastly, in a new article by Josh Martinez, he suggests that TV shows should expand universes by shortening the episode counts. I read the article. I kind of got what he was saying. Like, we're talking about long form shows that have like 18 plus episode seasons and stuff like that. I kind of get that, but I'm an old school person. Like, I love when like my TV show takes up the entire year. You know what I mean?
See, I feel like this can relate back to how society has such a short attention span these days, and I blame like TikTok and Instagram for their short form content, where if something doesn't hook you in like the first 3 seconds, you're out.
It's not just that. People were like this when Netflix started putting whole seasons of shows out, at once. And by whole seasons I mean like 8 episode seasons. Stuff like that, like it's weird, but we were talking about Game of Thrones a while back, like I hate the fact that 10 episodes come out and it's gone for a year. And then 8 years later, we're sitting up here looking at stuff, and I was like, that happened in season 1? I don't remember everything. I remember someone getting their head chopped off in season 1. How did we get here?
It was definitely Ned Stark.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, if you haven't seen it.
Andre's been running all the spoilers now. You notice that Stoy? Like everything Andre talked about tonight.
I mean, it's your fault. It's your fault. If it's spoiling it for you, it's your fault. Don't blame Andre.
Oh, I thought he was blaming me. Okay.
No. I'm just saying in general. I mean, I haven't watched any of the Game of Thrones. The only Game of Thrones episode I watched was when that kid got pushed out of a window. Spoiler alert. So,
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh at that, but that was so.
I laughed at it.
I've only ever seen the first season of Game of Thrones, so don't at me.
Yeah.
All right. All that we talked about and more can be found over. All that and more can be found over at bossrush.net, so head there and check out more editorials and shows from our ever-growing family of contributors and creators. We'd also like to say, hey, we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. We want you to come hang out with us over at Discord, over at Boss Rush Network Discord, where there's always more Crossroads stuff to check out. And there's entertainment stuff, food stuff, things like that. Don't forget we have a merch store. And as always, you can chat with us, keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at PS_Crossroads to dish on more news, events, and topics while we're getting for the next installment of Crossroads. Everyone, This has been episode 89 of Crossroads. Come back and join us next week for another brand new episode of the show where we're just going to come back and do the thing. If you like the show, please consider subscribing to the podcast. And do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the YouTube channel so you always get the latest information and also get the latest contacts when we go live. And also, if you listen to the podcast, the audio versions of the show, remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you listen to them at. It's part of Boss Rush Games family. We want you all to have a great night. And please remember, play games, be better, be safe out there. Don't be such an entitled asshole when it comes to video games, stuff like that.
Or if you do, just acknowledge it. Be like, look, I'm being entitlement, but, and then say
it. Doesn't that kind of nullify you? You know what? I'm done.
Don't start, because we will get into it.
Have a good night, everybody. Y'all take it easy. We love you.